I didn't really know much about it at all, to be honest. A friend of mine, she worked for the festival last year, and her name's Tori Nugent. She was actually running the newspaper in Blackall. And she approached me. She's a girl I went to boarding school with, and it sort of just went from there.
And what did you think when did they specifically ask you to write a song for Shockwave?
Yes, they did. I was really excited to be a part of something, for the young people, of Western Queensland. I think it's a wonderful thing for kids who are, creative or into dance or music, because there isn't a lot of opportunity for us creative types out here. Often we have to go back to the city to, for dance lessons, guitar lessons, or whatever it is.
Would have you liked a festival like Shockwave, say 5 or 10 years ago when you were starting out in your career?
I would have, yes, definitely.
Now, not only will you be, featuring your song, but you'll be doing a couple of workshops. What will you be doing in those workshops, Chloe?
I will be conducting a workshop, it'll be a fairly laid-back workshop, just about songwriting and also about the industry. And
with doing that, I suppose, so people can follow in your footsteps as such?
Yeah, it's just a bit of a guiding light, people can ask me questions, or we can just sit down and have a chat about, just where to start. Any questions they have, I can help to answer them, basically.
When you started out, how did you get going? It's a big, wide sort of world out there to enter the world of music. How did you take your first steps?
Oh, well, I've been doing music all my life. Dad taught me to play guitar, and I grew up in a fairly musical household. I played piano and guitar. I went to boarding school when I was 10, and I got a scholarship for primary boarding school. I was heavily involved in choirs and musicals and things like that all the way through high school as well. And then I went to university, and I thought I'd try and become a teacher, because I thought, music, you're never going to make any money. There's no guarantee. And anyway, I sort of realised that, teaching wasn't going to make me happy, and the thing that was making me happy was writing songs. So I really got back into that. I gigged a lot in Brisbane for about 2 years, and then I released an EP. And then off that EP, a company called Albert Music in Sydney, they're Australia's oldest and largest independent label, asked me to come on board, so I signed to them last year, and now I'm just about to start recording another album next month.
And what did you think when Alberts did ask you, because they're the home of such artists as the Easy Beats and AC/DC?
Yes.
What did you think when they rang you up?
They're a really, really lovely group of people. They're incredibly approachable and very supportive. And of course, I was absolutely humbled by them. Because when you sign to publishing, it's such a compliment on your writing. And that's the reason why I really do music, is because I really like to write. I was absolutely stoked. And when I walk into that, I use the studios down there to do my demos, and I'm using mics that, Bon Scott was singing into, 30 years ago. So it's a pretty crazy experience, but I'm really humbled by it as well.
Now, forging a career these days, it has changed drastically over the last 10 or 15 years with the internet and social media,
yes,
and of various other recording tools. Do you think it's easier, harder, or going than someone who tried to forge a career, say, in the 70s or 80s?
Look, I don't think it's any easier or any harder. I think we're blessed in this day and age because I can cut a record in my bedroom now, and I do a lot of my own work here at home. You can send your demos. I send all my demos, all my songs down to Albert's now to go into my catalogue. Everything's just so accessible. And the other thing is that these days I can go and type into YouTube and get all kinds of inspiration, people making music in Iceland or America or anywhere. So I think, I don't think it's any easier or any harder. I think it's great. The internet's a wonderful tool.
It is, isn't it? Now, let's chat about your song In This Bubble that you have written for the festival. Can you tell us how you recorded and what the inspiration was?
Shockwave got in touch with me about the song. The theme was Blast from the Heart, and so I was trying to create a song out of that sort of phrase. And I was thinking about just integrity, basically, and staying true to yourself. And if you're not in a happy situation, or you're not in a place where you want to be, it's just stay true to yourself and change the situation. So that's what the song was basically about, following your heart.
And it sounds like you had a lot of fun recording it, because for those that have heard it, it's yourself, your guitar, and some other interesting instruments.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, I don't really have. I don't have a studio full of instruments. I mean, I have a piano, but I've been experimenting with found objects lately. I go down to the rubbish dump and I find old vintage bottles and old honey tins and salt and pepper shakers from the pantry, and I just muck around with different sounds. Yeah, it sounds a little bit weird, but it seems to work out quite nicely.
and it sounds like it was a lot of fun to put together.
Yeah. I think it's just, I'm just trying to be creative, just trying to find my sound and, trying to do what other people aren't doing.
Now, Chloe, you will be running this workshop this weekend, Saturday, May the 26th. But for those who have thought of picking up the guitar, is any young talent around the West, and there is quite a lot of it, what words of advice would you give them? I
think just, stick to your guns, and if you've got a dream, follow through and go for it, There's nothing stopping anyone from following their dreams. And, we all have our bad days, but you just got to keep moving forward. It's not an easy industry, but if you really want something, you're always going to achieve it. So that's what I'd say.
2, 3, 4. I've been giving up my time to the earth, seed in the ground with good thoughts, and I've been talking to Mother Nature, I don't know, just trying to be better. Nothing here moves me like the wind, nothing here moves me like the moon. I'm just stuck in this bubble, just waiting. Well, I've been spending my time trying to love, spreading myself around good hearts, and I've been giving back. I don't know, I wanna be kinder. Nothing here moves me like the wind, nothing here moves me like the moon. I wanna change the world, but where do I start? Well, I've been giving up my seat to strangers, catching the same bus every day. I get bored, and I've been watching them robots. They look like they're living just for time. Nothing here moves me like the wind, nothing here moves me like the moon. I gotta get away from this city, gotta get away from this black hole. Just go. just lie back and watch the clouds fall. And there'll be love with the mornings and no more fight time. Nothing here moves me like the wind. Nothing here moves me like